Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the 66th installment of Black Girls on Television, Part 1 for Scandal Season 7, the winter finale. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with we see Quinn getting usurped in the elevator. We don't know who it is that took her, but yeah, she definitely was taken out of the elevator at Quinn Perkins and Associates. Charlie and Huck are both going crazy. They trying to find their girl, but they're going to find her, and when they do, the people that took her, they're going to make them pay in the most painful way as possible. Back over at the White House, Liv and Mellie, she's working on this treaty, so she's on the media circuit. It's about to happen. Liv is trying to concentrate on the task at hand, which is getting this treaty signed. However, she's still distracted with the Quinn situation. Okay, Mellie was like, how's your friend? Did they find her yet? And Liv was like, no. Mellie tries to sympathize with her, but Liv was like, listen, just gonna get through this. Don't you worry about it. All you need to focus on is the treaty. But when she goes back and talks to Jake, she lets it be known, we gotta find her. Let everybody know in this town we are looking for her. And when we do get her, it's gonna be hell to pay for that person. Now Marcus and Fitz, they're watching Mellie on this media circuit, and Marcus is amazed with how good Mellie is at her job. As a matter of fact, you know what? Why don't we hit Mellie up for some money? I mean, she's all on this whole peaceful thing and trying to help everybody and everything get better. Why not ask her for the money, to support our cause? And Fitz was like, please, Mellie ain't gonna do nothing. I can't barely get into the White House, okay? 8 minutes. And that's for me to get in there, get the kids, and get on back out. So if you want this done, we're gonna have to do it ourselves. I didn't tell you guys that Abby had told Huck and Charlie they found a 9-month pregnant woman dead in Germantown. So Charlie is going to have to go and identify the body. But Charlie is not sure he can do it. Evidently, he's been going and looking at all the pregnant women that they've been finding dead. Who knew it was so many, right? So he goes to Liv's house instead, okay, and sits and waits outside her door for her to get home. And when she does, she's like, what's the matter, Charlie? Something happened. And he was just like, they found another body. I don't think I can do it. Just level with me, Liv. The ins and outs of what's going on in Washington, D.C. She's dead, right? Just tell me. Level with me and I can deal with it. Liv tries to convince him, don't you worry about it. Quinn is still alive and we are going to find her alive. And she assures him of that, okay? So he's going to go the next day and check out this new body and see if it's Quinn or not, okay? When he leaves, gets on the elevator, Liv is so damn rattled. She can't get her hands to stop shaking long enough for her to put her damn key in the door. I said, girl, you ain't built for this. So the next day comes and Charlie goes to view the body and yeah, it's not her. Abby and Huck was like, well, that's good news, right? And he was like, depending on who you ask, it's good or bad. Now, Abby, she goes to visit Cyrus, and Cyrus tells her how Glackland, he's, was that his name? Yeah, I can't even think of his name, but anyway, he all shook up from what Charlie did to him. He ain't built for this shit either, okay? And even though he might be an astute and ruthless businessman, he is not a killer, okay? We really fucked this up and fucked him up in the process. But how do we get it wrong, Red? What do we do? And she was just like, we just got bad intel. And, they told us that he was the one. That news came straight from the NSA. Y'all know the NSA. Jake is still over the NSA, right? Okay, so when Cyrus hears that, he's like, oh, really? Okay, so then he goes and finds Jake in the hallways of the White House. And to make a long story short, he's talking to him and he lets him know that I know you the one that came down with the information that Glackland, if that's his name, if it's not, I'm sorry you guys, it don't feel right, but I think that's his name. I know you the one that pinned it on him and that you guys are kind of trying to make him as a scapegoat. Cyrus got his good eye, his cat eye on Jake. And then after Jake and Cyrus talks, Jake goes and visits Liv, and Liv is still shaken up. We have got to find Quinn. What is exactly going on out there in the world today? Jake was like, yeah, we gonna find her, Liv, don't you worry. But in the meantime, your dad he's summonsing you. How dare Papa Pope summons Olivia Pope? So she, she goes to his office. She throws her purse down and she was like, what? What do you want? Okay, I'm busy running the White House and Quinn Perkins is missing and we have got to find her. And he was like, I have Quinn. And she says, what? And he says, I have Quinn. Papa Pope had kidnapped Quinn himself. He says, you know, I tried to warn you. I told you that that day of reckoning was coming, and today it is here. Quinn is the one person that can take you down. She has information on you. She could put you in jail for the rest of your life. And now you're going to need to make a decision whether or not you are going to let Quinn die or you are going to grant me my freedom. Give me my bones. So then, you know, Liv is looking at him and she's like, you know, this is not a game and you're gonna lose. And, you know, he's just like, I'm just letting you know right now. You got 24 hours to either give me my damn bones back or Quinn is going to be a dead duck. She looks at him and she thinks about it a little bit. You know, the wheels is going in her head and she says, you know what, you're not going to do anything to her. You're not going to lay a hand on her head. You're going to wait until I decide what I'm going to do. And he was just like, okay, well, you take that chance if you want to. But I did shoot the love of my life in the forehead not too long ago, baby girl. So Quinn ain't nothing but a thing to me. So she goes back and talks to Jake, and Jake says, well, what are you going to do? And she says, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, I'm just going to wait. And he says, well, he will kill her. And she says, no, he won't. And he says, yes, he will. And she says, no, he won't. I said, oh, okay. Now, Marcus, he gets a quick little meeting with Melly. He starts to plead his case, okay? If Fitz wouldn't come down there and ask her for this money, then maybe he will do it, okay? Because Melly has always been the right kind of person, and she usually fights for justice if it really is a for real cause that needs her support, okay? So Marcus tried to come and hit her up for the money, okay? She was like, well, why are you really here? And he was like, well, because I know you ain't gonna give it to Fitz, okay? Anything that Fitz tries to give to present to you right now, I know you're not gonna give it to him. So that's why I decided to come on down here. And Honey Melly was like, oh, so you came down here to be condescending towards me? That's what you're trying to do? And he's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. But Honey Melly was just like, you know what, get out of my office. All right, don't come down here asking for no shit just because I didn't told Fitz that I'm not going to do shit for him. But he leaves all his little pamphlets and, you know, little folders and research on different things that he's trying to do in the community. He leaves that on the table, and when he walks out, you know, Melly does kind of look over some things, you know, maybe she can help. Now, Jake goes over to Papa Pope's house, and he comes on out and joins Jake in the car, and he was like, so she sent you over here to try to talk some sense into me? I'm not doing anything that you tell me to do. And he was like, you need to let it go, okay, Dad? Liv is not the same person that you think that she is. You don't know what she's capable of. And Papa Pope says, I know exactly what she's capable of. That's my daughter. And he was like, but that doesn't matter anymore. Liv is not the same person. So you really need to let this go. But Papa Pope ain't worrying himself. All right, well, whatever you say, Jake. All right, then Jake goes back to Liv, and he tells her that he talked to Papa Pope. Well, she's pissed. I told you not to say anything. I told you not to do anything. Now he has the advantage. He knows that we're scared and that we're worried. And Jake was like, listen, I'm letting you know that he will kill Quinn. You need to make a decision. Get it together, sis. So then we see Liv, and she's got this determined walk. She's going somewhere. We don't know exactly where. At the same time, we see Curtis, the reporter. Okay, he's going to meet Liv's secretary in some secret location. She has some information for him. So I was like, girl, you ain't fixing to be the whistleblower, are you? But jumping back over to Liv, we see where she's going after she goes through security, walks into this really nice plush penthouse looking apartment, and there's old dear Mama Pope. I could just picture Ashley saying, Mama motherfucking Pope. She was just like, hey, dear daughter, what brings you here? Okay, evidently Liv has the mom put up in this really nice place, but she's still a prisoner. She can't get out. She can't go do anything. All she has is cable, and she has her freedom within the square footage of that place. That is it. Anyway, after they get through the small talk, we get down to business. Why are you here? Well, Dad has my girl, Quinn Perkins. You know, the mom was like, who? She was like, it's somebody used to work for me. It doesn't matter. But I need to get her from him, but he won't give her to me. He wants his bones back. You know, she's trying to explain the whole thing, and the mom was just listening to her like, so you coming here to tell me this? Why? And, you know, Liv, she gets all dramatic. Well, you can be a bitch, or you can be my mom. And the mom just looking at her. Okay, so then Liv gets up and walks out like, okay, the bitch ain't gonna help me. And the mom was like, girl, if you don't sit your dramatic ass down, you need help, then just say that. Don't be doing all all this extra? Now, what's the problem, really? This girl, Quinn, what does she have on you? Well, she knows some secrets. Okay, so she got something on you that could really be detrimental? Yeah, something like that. Oh, okay. And your dad got him. Okay, well, it's easy enough to me. You're going to have to let her die. She can bring you down. Seems like her death would be the answer to all of your problems. And your dad would know that you don't give a fuck about what he's trying to do and he can't control you and all of that. So you're going to have to let her die. That's the best way this is going to end. Of course, that is not what Liv wanted to hear. Next scene, we see the secretary calling Jake, and she tells him that it's done. And then next scene, we see on the news that Curtis, the reporter, is missing. So I don't know if they didn't kill the man, if they didn't locked him away somewhere, what. Now, Liv, like I told you, she ain't built for this, okay? The child is having panic attacks in the bed. She can't sleep. I said, po Liv, girl, I know them bubble guts is killing you. Your girl, Quinn, are you gonna let her die? Now, Fitz goes to the White House, and surprise, surprise, Mellie is actually willing to talk to him about criminal justice reform. He was just like, oh, really? Okay, so I guess Marcus, the love of her life, did get through to her. Okay, let's go in the office and talk. Jump back over to Liv. She's at her apartment. She can't, nerves is bad, to say the least. Jake comes over, and he tells her that Curtis is missing. And she was just like, I don't even need to know the details. Don't worry about it. As long as he's taken care of, because you guys know that Curtis has, his antenna was up about this explosion. So I'm assuming they had to do something with old Curtis. They sit down, they have a glass of wine between the two of them, and Liv was just like, man, I'm tired, okay? This shit just keeps on going. I'm exhausted. It's just too much fucking thinking. It's just too much fucking worrying. She's talking about command. You are also trying to be the damn chief of staff. You trying to help everybody over there, Quinn Perkins. Okay, you trying to find your missing girl. You trying to deal with your daddy. You got too much shit happening, Liv. When are you going to throw in the towel? But you know she can't do that. He says, what are you going to do about Quinn? Okay, you're going to have to let her die. I can't do that. That's just Quinn. I cannot let her die. Okay, well then the next option you have is your father. He is the problem. I'm saying, why do you guys think that Eli is the problem? The problem is you guys blew up the damn plane and you have a witness. But he tells her, you're going to have to kill your daddy. That's all. That's the end of that. And she just looks at him and she tells him to get out. Now, the day has finally come. It's time for Mellie to sign this peace treaty. Liv is telling her, you got this, girl. It's going to be all good. I'm about to get on up out of here. And Mellie was like, wait a minute. Where are you going? Where are you going? This is a big moment. This is something that has happened, and it's all because of you. You are the one that got us here. Remember, it's you and I. And you were correct about Rashad, okay? He died for the greater good. It's a sacrifice. She's talking to Olivia, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this speech that she's given her is almost as if she's telling her to let Quinn die because it is a sacrifice for the greater good. I'm listening to this, and I was just like, ooh, wait a minute. You about to let Quinn go, girl? So Mellie tells her, let's be worthy of the sacrifices that we made. Say it after me. There will be no man standing in our way. Liv tells her, no man standing in our way, as in Daddy Pope. I said, well, Quinn, I guess that's your ass. So, time's up. What's it going to be? Jake asked her. All right, is it going to be Quinn's life or your daddy's life? All right, we don't know what she's decided, but she takes it on over to Eli Pope's house, and he says, okay, the time is up. Now, what is we gonna do? You gonna give me my bones? You gonna let the girl die? Like, what we doing? Liv says, you know what? You won't kill her. And you won't kill me. So really, this is nothing but a whole lot of talk. And Eli was just like, I'm not going to have to kill you. I'm not going to have to do nothing to you because you're not going to be able to live with the blood of Quinn Perkins on your hands. And she was just like, well, since you so big and bad, Quinn Perkins is not really the problem. Why don't you kill me? I'm exactly like you. You made me directly in your image. Didn't you say to kill the head of the snake? She get this whole long Shonda Rhimes speech that only Liv can give. But basically she's telling them, since you so big and bad, kill me instead of Quinn Perkins. All right, well, he pulls out his gun. And she's like, pull the trigger. Of course, Daddy Pope is not going to kill his own daughter. And she was just like, I thought so. All right, so now she's feeling herself. You can't kill me, and you lose and I win. And then she calls and she gives all these orders, you know, the 1.25 on the kill order, you know, come down here to Eli Pope's house and, you know, make sure it's a 3.8 or code red on the kill order. I was just like, girl, where did you learn all them codes? You ain't been command that damn long. Anyway, long story short, she has called for somebody to come and kill Eli in the next 20 minutes unless she calls back. So then she gets off the phone and she says, all right, so they're gonna come and kill you in 20 minutes. You can either give me Quinn or you gonna die. And he was like, you're bluffing. She says she not bluffing, and then he tell her she is bluffing. And child, we go through this whole back and forth, and you know the time starts to run down and he counts it down, and she was just like, okay, well, She ain't changed nothing, and neither did he. Honey, he take that gun, he walk out the room, he push some little buttons, you know, you hear the patio doors open, and Liv is sitting in the room just listening. Then you hear a gunshot, and she goes, you hear Quinn yell out like, no, please, and then you hear a pow. Liv is just like, and Eli comes back in the room, says, well, I guess that's that. Did you want to see the body? And that is the end of that. It's kind of predictable. Something tells me that even though Eli did take Quinn, I think he sat her down and explained to her what they're going to do for Liv, try to get her to give up this whole command thing. And I think that she's not really dead, that he just did all of that to really shake Liv up. If she did indeed say she wanted to see the body, maybe they was going to be prepared to have her look like she had been killed or anything. But, you know, that's her friend. Of course, Liv is not going to want to see that. She already going to feel guilty enough that he killed Quinn. Okay, but I don't think Quinn is dead. Anyway, you guys give me your other predictions, but that is the winter finale for Scandal. All right, you guys, that is it. I got to do How to Get Away with Murder, which is so involved. Let me get myself together for that. Anyway, you guys, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.